how do you create streams of income, and how do you use debt as a tool to build a future?
Yeah, so streams of income, first of all, you got to find out what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what you're inspired to do, what gets you out of bed. But sometimes we can't always just have that, so it's about sacrifice as well. So you got to look at things that, you say to yourself, I don't want to do this job, but you got to say, well, I'm going to do this job. I'm going to earn that P because I want to get to the next level, the next stage. And I don't want to be sat at home not earning any money. So the trick is to keep going. Keep doing things you don't want to do, because eventually you're going to get to the things that you do want to do. You're going to get to that stage where you're working in a fast food restaurant, in McDonald's, but next minute you've been promoted to a supervisor, to a manager, next minute a next manager in a different company where they recognize you as a manager, maybe in Curry's, and then next minute you're stepping it up. You're a store manager of Curry's, for example, then you going into DFS and being in a sofa place. So it's not about making it in one place, and that's the end. It's just about not giving up. You got to.
That's key, not giving up, staying persevering, staying focused, and being dedicated, which is really important. A lot of people don't have the knowledge, or have the knowledge and not the application. And the application is important. Do you feel that young people are supported and vulnerable adults are supported in our society?
There's a lack of mentorship for sure. There's, life is busy. We're in a technological era. People are on their phones. They're more on their phones than looking around what their kids are doing, what's happening. It's the society that we live in. So there is a lack of mentorship. There's people out there who don't have the right opportunities. There's people who don't have the right guidance. There's people who growing up in single parent homes as well. And we all know, well, I know the benefit of having a granddad, having a father, having my uncle around me, because it's built me to the person I am today. However, there are people out there, and they're called mentors. They're your big brothers, they're your uncles. There's people who you can relate to, who's got more experience than you. They might not be the cleverest person in the world, but if they're 50 and you're 20, they already got 30 years experience more than you on this planet. So you want to be around them people. You want to be around the older, uncles and big brothers out there. You want to be around people who are wise. They don't have to have big chains and be showing off, because that's not confidence. Confidence comes within. So, don't follow just social media. He's got that on or she's got that on, so I have to follow them. What have they really got behind it? What have they really got to teach you behind it? Not a lot half of the time. So let's find out the real gems. There's old people's homes out there. People who are looking for company, want to play a little chess. Go in there, do your little bit, guys. And find them gems, and you feel you're not getting paid. You think you're not doing nothing. You're gaining knowledge and experience. This guy's telling you how to make it, what mistakes he's made, so you already know, I don't want to duplicate that mistake. I've got limited time on this earth. So when you've got limited time, why do you want to keep making the same mistakes that other people have made? Learn from them and excel quicker. You just got to work hard and be consistent. That's all the message is. Hard work, consistency. Keep repeating that to yourself. Get up in the morning and just got to do what you got to do, and that will all pay off. It's paid off for me. I'm living proof, and you've got to follow the mentorship here. You've got to follow any mentors that you see around you, and you've got to follow good people, and get yourself out of bad crowds, guys. You don't have to be there. There's so many alternatives. Some people earn good money, but guess what? They blow it all as well. So I earn 5k and I spend 5k. So what have you earned? You've earned zero, nothing. Yeah, I earn 2k. I spend 500 a month. I say 1500. I'm earning more than the guy that's earning 5k. It's not about status here, guys. It's about what you can, put behind you, later buy assets, and that will feed you. So that's the way it goes, bro. That's what you got to do.
That's some real facts, and it's really, you've touched on some really important points about you've made 5k and then you've spent 5k, so really you've made nothing. When if you've made 5k and you budgeted for your outgoings to be around 1,500, you would have 3,500 left.
Yeah. It's all about expenses. Control your expenses, control your habits, make wise choices. There's a party over there, £10 a drink or a cocktail. Now I'm buying £10 for a bottle of vodka and having it around his house or my house. Make them choices, guys. You want to go out to the cinema? Guys, come on, 99p for a pack of, you know, sweet popcorn or something like that. A nice 2-litre bottle, yeah, £2. Yeah, Pepsi Max. Put Netflix on. Let's put a movie on. That's what we're spending the night in. You got to understand that. The boys got to understand, but the women need to understand that and support their men out there as well and say, look, I'm okay with that because we're building something for the future. We're going to have kids in the future. We're going to have a family. We don't want to repeat the same things that are happening. So control your expenses. More than controlling your expenses, it's all about your emotions. Control your emotions. Your wants, what you want, what you need. You don't push them emotions to the side. I've got to do that first. Enjoy it later. Otherwise, you know, as I say, you work and pay for material goods, or you build assets and you let that pay for material goods, you know, and live like a king. So make your choice, guys. Make your choice. Because I'm telling you, I got the formula. You know, we got the formula here. You know, that's what we're talking about.
And that's what it's about. Platforms, building our own platforms, ownership. And I'm a person who really believes in ownership. If I can't own it, I'm not interested in it, because I understand the value of owning what I have, whether that's the masters to my records, whether that's the clothing brand, whether that's my media company, wherever it may be. It's about having ownership and using the time that you've been given on this earth, because we don't have a lot of time, and making sure that you use it effectively. Which brings me on to my next question. How can you, if say you're on a 25k a year, say, salary, or for example, if you've got money that's laying around that maybe you don't know what to do with it, how can you use that money to invest, or how would you go about it if you've never had a property before, if you've never bought a property? What advice would you have for first-time buyers?
Yeah, so there's two biggest games in the world. First one is property and the other one's investment. I'm already in one of them and I'm learning about the second one. If you've just starting out, guys, property can be daunting. You'd want to follow somebody who's had experience. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, someone in your family who's bought a property. Guess what? Someone at school, your teacher's probably got a property. These are the people you want to go to first and say, hey, can I ask you a question? How did you buy your house? Like, find experience, find people you relate with who can talk the same language and tell you how to get these finances in place. Again, it's about discipline, about your income and your expenditure, how you manage all of that. Because remember one thing, cash is king. When you got cash in the bank, you can go walk into the bank manager, I want to buy that because I got that in my bank. So make sure you're stacking that up. And guess what? If you don't have that, find other side hustles. And I'm not talking about let's go on the road and let's do a bit of this and that. This you need to go on the straight and narrow. You got to show these people.
Can you just repeat that one more time? When you're talking about making a side hustle, just repeat that bit.
Yeah, just go on the straight and narrow. Don't go on a side hustle, like in terms that gets you in trouble, because that's not the goal. Everything always catches up with you in the end. You want to go on the right path, exactly where, you know, you can prove that income. You can show the bank, I've earned the money there. That's where the money's come from. And they're going to say, yeah, we're happy to give you that property because we can see all your income. Cash is dirty. You can't do a lot with it. You can't prove where that cash has come from. You end up spending it on even more rubbish things. So let's look at them side hustles. Let's look at, we're in a technological era, as we said, yeah? Let's buy some stuff off Alibaba and sell it on Amazon. Let's do some drop shipping out there, man. You can make £6 a pop. Do 10 items, that's 50 quid. Boom. You know, there's just showing you 50 quid right there, brother. Come on. So this is the smart moves we've got to make. Listen, look, another thing I'm telling you, yeah? The amount of people I see with a coffee in their hands, £3. Nah, bruv, it's not about that life. Come on, that's £3 a day, that's £15 a week, £60 a month, £720 a year on coffee. Nah, I'm buying a £15 kettle, buying coffee beans, and I'm drinking it at work if that's what I want. It's them smart moves. £5 on lunch a day, £25 a week. Yeah, that's £100 a month. £100 a month, yeah. And what's that? 100 to £1,200 a year, for example. There's two places where I've just showed you how to save £1,200, £700, nearly 2k. Don't tell me you can't save. It's all about the choices you make. It's all about being in control of your emotions and sacrificing certain things for things you want later. You know, today, if I don't want to work, I don't have to work. I work because that's what motivates me. But giving back to helping, how can I give back to society now? But you've got to be in that position. And you've just got to work hard and be consistent. And I say that again because in all walks of life, I've seen so many people say, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. As soon as they leave the meeting, 3 hours later, they're depressed. Oh, I'm depressed. I don't want to do this. Get up, do it. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. The first person up in the morning. When you're up in the morning, is a different feeling. You're vibrating on a different energy. You're up when everybody else is still asleep. Yeah, remember that. And remember, if you're at 5, 6 o'clock, if you're up in that time in the morning, you do your training, you had your nice shower, you done a little bit of reading or something, the day is yours. You've already conquered one thing, established one thing, you feel successful. You know what I'm saying, bro? All about mental health.
Definitely. And can you touch a little bit on mental health? For example, those young people that are struggling with mental health, those young people that are going through difficult situations where they're not able to process their thoughts, and maybe they're struggling with self-control, discipline, self-esteem and confidence.
It's all about surrounding yourself with people.